on your end, you can see when the last time the 97 and the 46 came to the pits. How many laps ago was that? Because I know it's getting close here to the end of this, to the middle of this race with the 25 car pitting. What are those tires looking like?
Well, it looks like the last time the 97 machine pit was 35. Correction, actually. Looks like 35 laps ago. It looks like the 46 machine pitted 48 laps ago. I could be wrong. Probably am. But, correction, no. They both pit 15 laps ago into the last caution. I was reading the wrong information. My bad. Where Tate, the 48 machine of Chris Leach, he is back on the lead lap, along with the 35 machine of Christopher Ritchie. All those guys pit with under this pass caution, so about 12 laps different tires between the front two and the rest of the top five.
Well, this broadcast is going to be slightly different. Our cameras did not load in the way they were supposed to, so we're going to have a different point of view this end of this race, but different front row. But right now, Chris Bass leading that lap, and Tate on the inside for second.
Well, Tate already passed Takis, so there's that. Tate was right with the 97 and the 46 when the green flag came out. 97 did not.
Whoa! Tate gets a little loose.
Yeah, he's been battling a loose car these last couple laps, especially before that caution flag, and obviously after. It's definitely going to be interesting to see if this track is going away from a couple of these drivers. I know as the cars run on it and everything like that, it is going to heat up, so there is a possibility that the cars could become looser as the 25 is hunting down that 97 machine.
Trying to get back to that spot that he's been almost all race long is Christopher Tate, and you know he's going to be continuing to battle hard on Bass, but I just cannot see Bass holding off the power of the 25.
Well, you know what? Bass is running that preferred line right up against the wall, diamonding it down to about the middle.
Oh, the 35 machine having some issues.
97 hard in the wall.
Issues for a lot of these guys out here, as Bristol has been a wrecking ball for a lot of these guys out here.
But you know what? That 97 car hit the wall in the exact spot that I was talking about earlier. He just bounced right off and shot him down the front stretch. But that damage could make a difference here as the 25 has caught right back up to the 97, as it looks like he's going to be able to make the pass in the middle of 1 and 2.
Able to get it done, and there goes the 25, and it was bound to happen, and there he goes. You got to wonder, though, who can save their tires to possibly, outlast the 25 car to have something at the end of this run. But 90 laps to go. Tate's right back to where he was at before and feeling comfortable. And there is a caution. Oh, boy.
It looks like...
We're doing a quick run through to see who it was.
I'm not sure, honestly.
And to go back and see. As we're continuing to look, we'll get you guys back underway.
Oh, the 46 missed pit road.
Was that what brought out the caution for us, or is that under him right now?
13 machine of Christopher Papa coming off the corner, loses it, and just hits the inside wall, goes back up on the track. Gets clipped by the 48, and that's what brought us under this caution.
Ooh, that's some heavy damage with him in the 48. That wasn't just a simple clip. That was just them ramming right into one another. Huge hit for Chris Papa that probably ended his race.
Listen, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was making it seem less than what it was. But, yeah, that 13 car got towed back to pit road. He had hard impact on the inside wall and then more hard impact by the 48. As of right now, the 13 machine has no front end, so there's that.
Yeah, that's heavy. But as these drivers are doing their pit stops, we're going to do a quick commercial break. We'll be right back to all the action. right, we've got the 1 to go. But Tom, I heard that there's some drama under the pits. What went down?
Yeah, so I called down to the pits to our pit reporter, and he's got some stories for us. I know the 13 machine has brought the car behind the wall. He is now an over-track admin, as green flag is back in the air. And it believed the 48 machine from that contact had 4 minutes of optional repairs, so we'll see how much damage he actually fixed, as the 97 is sticking with the 25 on this restart.
Still sticking with them, and these guys are going to be trying to do the best they can. The only way that I could possibly be seeing us have a different winner than Tate is if we go on a long green flag run and maybe Tate makes a mistake, or we get a green-white checkered at the end, and these guys can try to throw in their bumper, make a bump-and-run move. But as of right now, that 25 machine looks like the fastest car out there. We're going to take a quick look to see what is going on with that 48 machine, because, like you said, he had some heavy damage. We saw there on the replay of that last caution, the front bumper contact with himself and the 13, but somehow still able to continue running. And he was only in the pits for a little bit to get some optional time done, so I'm surprised on how well this 48's running at the moment.
Yeah, 25 really loose off turn 4, as that'll bring the 97 car back into frame. That 25 car has been loose this second half of the run, as we have roughly coming to 79 to go this time, and I don't know if the 25's playing games right now, or his car is actually going away from him.
No, I mean, he's been getting loose. I mean, we saw that not this previous restart, but the restart before that, when he was trying to make the 2 passes on Bass and Takis. Coming off the corners, his car just was wiggling a lot. That just made it nervous. It seems like where he used to feel comfortable putting his foot down, that is no longer a safe place, and he's got to figure out a different spot on how to make this 25 car run faster, because if he continues on the way that he was running, he might get caught just because of how unstable that 25 car is now.
Yeah, it's something I've noticed, though. He has been getting looser and looser ever since he stopped leading the race. I think he's a little annoyed that he's not going to be able to lead all the laps. He led every lap up until that point, and I think he's more annoyed than upset that he lost that lead.
Leaders are going to get by Newman there quite easily, and now they're just running that high line, kind of just turning into a one-groove race as more grip put on track the longer this race goes. Just based on when we saw our drivers come to the pits, they should be good to the end if we don't pit here. Only car that I'm kind of worried about that might have to pit one more time is Chris Noblet. Everyone else looks like they're solid to the end of this thing.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be good to go for the end of this race. Like I said before, you can go about 125 to 150 laps on a tank of fuel. I know there won't be any pitting under green or anything along those lines, because you know what? If you pit under green and caution comes out, you're going to be 2-3 laps down, especially with this 25 car running the pace he is.
Yeah, I mean, we were at one point at 80 laps to go. 80 laps into this race. Christopher Tate almost lapped every single driver, and then from there on out, we've had cautions. It seems like every once in a while, bringing in a lot more cars to get their laps back. Only 5 cars left on the lead lap. The last one there is going to be the 48 machine. Surprised that he's still out there running as well as he is. The next car that's one lap down is going to be Christian Ruse, as well as Chris Noblet. Everyone else multiple laps down.
Yeah, that 14 machine was involved in the caution 2 cautions ago, so I can understand why he's a lap down. He was on the lead lap at one point, besides the race start. Can't say much about a lot of these drivers in this race, but he was one of the guys that got his lap back, playing a little strategy. He had a feeling that cautions were going to bring cautions. They did, and he got the quickie caution he was looking for, and he ended up getting back on the lead lap because of it.
Everyone's starting to just get a lot spread out, and it's more so of cars that were 1 lap down or more are cycled in with these lead lap guys. I mean, you're watching the Chris City 250, and it's been a fun race to watch. These guys in the middle of the back of the pack have been the most raciest everyone up here, and it's been all that 25 machine of Christopher Tate. We're going to do a quick race rundown. I mean, we've got the 25 machine in the lead, trying to get by lap cars. But I mean, that turn number 4 is where we've seen a lot of cars getting eaten up.
Yeah, the 25 machine has been, that's the corner he's been getting loose off of. Can't say the same about Chris Bass, though. He has had a steady car all race long. I definitely see if we get a green-white checker, he might have something for that 25 machine, especially with how loose the 25 is on new tires.
Yeah, I mean, Bass, one of those cars that, he qualified well, been up front all day long. He's just been doing his thing. A car that started back in the pack, though, in third. That's going to be Christopher Takis, who at the start, I think, Tom, you know where he started at the start of this race. I mean, he was all the way in the back of the pack.
Yeah, he started 11th. He was definitely in the the mid to back half of this field. Drove his way through the field to get to that second position on the first run of the race. He's running third right now. A guy that started mid-pack, though, Christopher Ritchie, he was involved in the caution two cautions ago. He's running in fourth place right now, about 11.5 seconds behind the race leader.
Yeah, I mean, Ritchie, we've seen him have a lot of issues today, but still able to chug along on the lead lap. I mean, that is such a story for the 35 machine. We've seen him on the apron after hitting the wall or spinning out. That's a great rebound for him. Another car that we saw on that last caution. He's about to become another car on the lap down. First car lap down. That's going to be Chris Leach. Finally getting passed by Tate, but got to give credit to the 48 machine. Yes, he is a lap down now, but with all of the contact that he's had, he's been involved with a couple of cautions where he's not really the car that took the main brunt of damage, but has been swiped a couple times here and there.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to touch on right now is, like I said earlier, damage couldn't, if you hit the damage in the right spot, that's really not going to affect you. As you see, that 48 car went a lap down, but you can see he's still keeping speed with some of these guys. A guy that's trying to get past that 48 car right now for that lucky dog position is the 14 machine of Christian Roos. He's running in 6th. He started 8th tonight, kind of where he started. Has had an up and down night. He's kept the car clean. Well, he did keep the car clean. Now he's got damage on the back end as he makes the pass on the lap machine of the 37. He's trying to get that lucky dog position before that 25 machine will pass the 35.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying his best, but he still has to pass the 48. And then I believe, there's quite a long gap between the 14 and the 48. I think it's about 11 seconds at this moment. So it's still a lot of time left in this race with 56 laps left in this thing. But 14 car, we're kind of running out of time. Someone we haven't really talked much about, that's going to be the 17 of Chris Noblet, 2 laps down at the moment. He's kind of just been, his car actually looks extremely clean compared to all the cars that are racing around him. That 17 machine has had a quiet day, but a top 10 finish, not bad for that 17 car.
Yeah, not at all. He started 13th tonight. He's, like you said, he's keeping that car clean. Very hard to do at Bristol Motor Speedway, but he's getting the job done. Another guy that we've mentioned earlier in the race, but we haven't really touched on him since, kind of running where he started as well, is the 37 machine of Chris Meza. Obviously, he's got big right side damage. He's been in the wall a couple times. I believe he was in a caution, but I'm not quite sure. But he's running in the 8th position right now, 2 laps down.
2 laps down, 6 seconds away from that 17 machine of Chris Noblet. So Meza's race
again by the 25 machine to go 3 laps down now.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's actually catching on to Noblet. Noblet losing almost a second that lap. I think he's running clean, but not fast. I think if he was, yes, these cars hitting the wall is slowing you down, but sometimes when you hit it, it helps your speed out. You might want to think about doing that, but we saw the 5 machine getting passed by the leader and also passed by the 37. That's Chris Hupka, who just looks like his car is struggling to make it around this racetrack. The 5 machine's had a rough day in that Chris machine.
Yeah, he started in the inside of the second row, thought it was going to be a promising day. It obviously has not gone the way they wanted it to. He's running 9th, 4 laps down. The next car to round out the top 10, he started in the 5th position. That's Christopher Reese in the 62 machine. He's paying tribute to Ricky Bobby in that Chris car. with the Cougar named Chris on the front. He's had an up and down day as well. Like I said, he started in the 5th position. Hasn't really made waves. He's kind of stayed around the middle of the pack as he's just trying to hang on to that top 10.
And then you have Christopher Lawrence back in 11th place as the 48 gets spun around with the 1. Oh, our caution continues with, I believe that is caution number 7 of the day.
So it looks like the 35 machine just went 1 lap down to the 25. He's going to get back on the lead lap. And you know what? We got less than 50 laps to go now. We're coming to, it looks like, 45 next time by.
Oh.
I think that 97 car is going to have something for that 25.
We're going to have to take a different angle on that, but that was kind of shades of what we saw Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott do earlier on in Darlington this year. Just not being clear enough on the car around you and making some contact. We'll take a blimp view of this wreck. So you're going to see there's a lot of net code involved, but also not knowing the closing speed on those two cars.
Yeah, it looks like that was the second time the 01 has done that this race. I believe he did it to the 35 a couple cautions ago. So, I don't know what's going on. I know the 09 of Christopher Lawrence, we were just about to talk to him. He started in the 2nd position. He's running 10 laps down right now. These guys battling for that lucky dog spot or to stay on the lead lap. I don't see the reason to be racing them right now.
I mean, you're racing so hard, right? And it's one of those things of you're a couple of laps down, and yes, you might feel like you're running faster than these guys that are doing better, but you kind of have to give each other space here going to the end.
35! Under caution, the 35 car gasses up down the straightaway to go past the pace car, hits the wall on the front stretch, comes down, hits the side of the 14 machine. I don't know if that's going to add any damage to the 35, but he hit the wall decently hard on the front end.
We're going to go back and see the action that you saw. Is trying to get the lucky dog position, and I mean, it happens sometimes, right? You gas it up, and you spin those tires. You don't really know where your car's going to go after there, and once again, 14 car gets some more damage that he didn't have earlier on in this race. It's just the latter half of this thing, more damage for the 14. But Richie, I'm surprised with that him making that contact. He'll continue to have the lucky dog, but just because he was not the cause of the caution, he'll continue to get it.
Exactly, as he's going to restart in that 4th position behind the 46. I believe, yes, he will restart in the 4th position, but he's going to be restarting behind everyone. As we said earlier in the race, with that 97 machine, when he got the lucky dog to come back into 3rd position, you're going to have to restart behind the entire field. We're going to restart with, I believe, 40 laps to go. I don't know if that's going to be enough time for him to even try and get up to the 46.
Yeah, we're looking to see the lights as yet. We're going to be going green with 40 laps to go. You know the intensity is going to pick up. Yes, Christopher Tate has proven that he is the fastest car out here, but Bass has shown that on these shorter runs, he can still compete. Takis is someone that we'll see if he's able to get back up here, but Takis came into the pits.
So he's going to have brand new tires, as I'm going to watch this 25 car on the initial start. Remember, he's very loose on new tires. That 97 car can stay with him.
But can you get a restart like the 25? Once again, already a half a second gap between the 25 machine and Bass and the 97 in second. Those restarts is what's been killing Bass every single time. Takis was the only one that was really able to stick with the 25. And Bass, once again, losing even more time on the 25.
Yeah, that 25 machine looks like he's hooked up again. And the thing I'd be worried about on a green white checkered is that 25 car getting a amazing... Oh, 25 loose off 4 again.
Once again, you saw it on screen. When you try to get back onto the throttle, and it just slid right under him, but he was able to stay straight. 38 laps to go. Coming across the line will be 37, and your time is kind of ticking away, Bass. You need to run down the 25, but we haven't seen him do that all race long. If we stay green, this race could be done.
Yeah, unless the 25 will run into lap traffic, which there is a good possibility that he will, but I don't think that's going to matter with this much time left. Everybody's kind of got there.
Oh, the 90 spun it around in front of the 48. Off the track. Caution out again for number 8.
Caution is out once again. It looks like the 90 car just got onto the apron, spins it out, and backs it into the inside wall. That brings out our 8th caution of the night.
You're going to see the 90 machine. He just, touches the apron, spins it around. Luckily, the 48 machine was able to get out of the way, but that was another shades of what it's been like for the 48. Around where these cars are spinning out, and that's got to be frustrating mentally, knowing that it's not your fault why some of these cars spin out around you. It's unlucky.
Yeah, that 48 car, because he didn't get any damage or contact in that incident, he is going to get back on the lead lap. And now this is where it could get interesting, okay? We've ran 10 laps on these tires. Tate is on pit road along. No, Bass stays out.
Bass stays out. Takis stays out. And that's going to put Tate back in 4th on the high line, where we haven't seen him. We've seen him back in traffic around 3rd, but we have not seen him back in 4th, stuck on the high line, stuck where the cars haven't been taking off. It's going to be an interesting place to be. And it's going to be fun to see these guys. I mean, now we've got 5 cars on the lead lap. Might be more. I think Chris Noblet's going to put himself on the lead lap.
He has not pit in the past 80 laps.
Oh, here he comes. He's going to the pits. So now he's back to 1 lap down.
Yeah, I think that's the right move. He's the only car 1 lap down at this point. I think it's the right move to have him come in, get 4 fresh Goodyears. Hope another caution comes out along with the 48 car. He's on pit road as well. Something I want to touch on, though. When Chris Tate came in to the pits when the other guys stayed out, you mentioned it, he started in 3rd position. Now, the leader can go whenever the pace car comes off. So that allowed the 25 to go with the leader. He's going to be restarting behind 2nd place. 2nd place, if Takis doesn't get a good restart, that could hurt the 25 in the long run, as we are going to restart with, I believe, 30 to go.
30 to go. It's going to be a fun rest of this race. But, more racing is going to be going on. Today's Bristol, and our next race is going to be June 27th at North Wilkesboro, and that's going to be a fun race to see, going back to 1987 track.
Yeah, I'm always excited to have, it looks like the 35 did come down pit road.
Oh, that changes a lot of things. Now it's putting Tate right back to 3rd place on the inside line where he wants to be. Easily can challenge 2nd place.
So let's run it down here. Chris Bass is your race leader. He's the only other car that has led this race besides people staying out under caution. He pit 13 laps ago under the last caution. The 46 car late pitted under the caution with 1 to go. He has 10 laps on his tires, and Chris Tate has 3 as he pit under this caution along with the 35 machine. As the lights are out on the pace car, as the pace car will make that hard left turn down pit road, and looks like the 97 waited a little bit as the green flag's back in the air, and the 25 could not pull alongside that 46. Now he does, going down to turn 1.
Yeah, he's just able to carry so much more speed now. Big contact was made between Takis and Tate, keeping the 25 back in 3rd place. This is what Bass likes to see. Keep them racy back there. Oh my goodness. Takis might be holding strong, but Tate, that contact might have hurt that 25 more than we thought.
I don't think it hurt him that bad. That's one thing I was worried about, though. If the 25 did not clear that 46, 46 was going to have a run off the corner And this is what I'd be worried about with Tate. He's got to make quick work of that 46, as it's already a second gap between the 97 and the 46.
Yeah, first place just able to continue the gap, and that's Chris Bass in the lead. It's second and third of Takis and Tate battling it out as we're coming to 26 laps to go here in the Chris City 250. It's been a fun one to watch here at Bristol, and now it's still Tate gets loose again.
That same spot over and over and over again, and this could be a strategy call by the 97 that could win him this race.
Stayed out for 2 cautions, and it's worked out so far. He is on much older tires, 10-lap older tires than Tate. Tate's only on. Oh, Takis gets spun around. Drama here with Tate and Takis at the end.
Bumped him coming off looks like turn 2, and that sends Takis around.
We're going to see here, coming off of the corner, that looks like a netcode bump, though.
I don't know. I think it's just a Bristol bump, to be honest. It's, you know what? It's getting late in the race. That happened with 25 laps to go. I think it's just racing at that point.
We're going to take a quick blimp look at this thing. Oh, and the overhead. You get a lot better of a look here on the contact. Yes, there was contact there. That was not netcode. Tate giving a little bit of a bumper to the 46, saying, get out of my way. I need to run this guy down. I'm faster than you. And it's spinning Takis around, but is that spin too soon? Could we see Takis come back and retaliate?
There is a good possibility, and something I wanted to mention right now. Remember how we said that 17 machine has stayed clean the entire race? Well, you know what? He's finally back on the lead lap. He's going to restart in that 5th position.
It has been all race long, ever since becoming, I believe, almost 2 laps down for Noblet. He's been trying to get that lap back all race. Finally gets it done here at the end when we're coming to what should be less than 20 laps to go when we get back to green.
So this is the good thing. This is what the 46 is lucky about, okay? He didn't get hit bad, whether it was on the front end or the back end. He got a little tap from behind, but that didn't really cause any damage. He's going to sit in pit road, repair some more damage, but he's going to restart 3rd. All right? He is going to restart.
You say he didn't have that bad damage, but he was in there for 22 seconds getting repairs done. I mean,
I think that's damage that he's had for a little while. He hasn't really been able to repair it. He's been, staying in the pits a little longer than what other cars have been these past couple cautions. As, like I said, he's going to restart in that 3rd position. So let's see if he might, as you said.
Tate's going to be 3rd position again. Takis is going to be starting 4th. Noblet's staying out.
Noblet, lucky dog. He has to start in the back, remember?
Oh, that's right. That's going to be putting Tate on the outside row of row number 1. Takis 3rd. Can Takis, he's set up for retaliation. Fresh tires for 2nd and 3rd. Bass out there, 23 lap old tires. And, we've seen the drop off with these tires. It's going to be rough for Bass, but he had to try something different than everyone else.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to restart with 19 laps to go. But remember, this 97 machine is going to be able to go whenever he wants. If that 25 does not stay with the 97, that's going to allow the 46 to get right to him. Another thing that I'd be a little worried about, though, is wheel spin. We haven't seen people stay out this long as you see the 97 testing the wheel spin and whatnot. It looks like he's going to be good to go. Honestly, if everybody gets into it, I think that 35 machine is going to be a dark horse to sit here and win.
We've seen Richie have some weird times, but right now we're going green with 19 laps to go. Bassfield to take off, but it's Takis on the inside of Tate.
Takis stays on the inside of that 25 machine as the 25 tries to clear him coming off turn 2. He does in the middle of 3 and 4, and now it looks like it's going to be a battle between the 25 and the 97.
It's going to be fresh tires versus old. With Tate's been the fastest car out here, and he's got those fresh rubbers under him. I don't think Bass has anything for that 25 machine as they are going side by side down the front stretch.
What a launch from the 25 down the front stretch, and he is going to clear that 97 machine. Here comes the 46 second.
And Takis trying to get back as Takis spins, so he was sideways there, able to keep it under him, but he's got Bass on his back bumper, which is losing time on Tate.
What a save by that 46 machine, and you know what? This is where it counted. That 25 hasn't gotten loose at all this run, as he usually does. As I say that, he gets a little loose off 4, but not enough to really mess him up.
It's now a 2-second gap between first and second, and you're seeing the battle for second at the moment as Tate is just pulling away by himself, no one around him, and he's just got a whole bunch of fresh and wide open air in front.
Yeah, we got a 3-car battle for second as we speak, as the 35 machine is lurking in the shadows of the 46. He's going to try and get underneath the 97 right now for second spot. That's the best battle we have on track right now, as you have 3 cars under a blanket right here, as the 97 hanging strong on that outside line.
Jack is getting slightly loose off of 2, now pushing the 97 up into the wall just slightly. These guys still racing hard, coming across the line. It's going to be Bass there. 12 laps to go. Tate is gone. 3-second gap between himself and these two battling out for second as it looks like Bass into the wall.
Yeah, those old tires are really starting to hurt him now, as the 46 machine will clear the 97 off turn 2 that last lap, as now the 97 machine is under fire from the 35. He's had an up and down day all day. He's been involved in a couple cautions, and here he is fighting for a podium spot.
He's been involved with a couple of cautions, even during caution laps he's had issues. That 35 machine of Christopher Ritchie just trying to make as many moves as possible, get up into a podium spot, and he might be able to do so, but Bass trying to get back into his groove, into a rhythm that could possibly make him pull away from the 35. It looks like that damage on Ritchie might be too much for him to catch the 97.
Yeah, Christopher Ritchie sitting 9th in points right now. He is actually tied with Chris Noblet. As you can see, he's Noblet running in that 5th position, the last car on the lead lap. And Hubka running in 9th position. They're only, I believe, 9 points back behind him. So it's going to be a good points day for that 35 machine and the 17 to gain some points on the 5.
Takis is trying everything he can. I mean, we saw there on camera, he is pushing that thing, almost grinding up against the wall while riding, try to get as much of an advantage to try to gain time on the 25 machine, but he is just losing it every lap, not able to gain any time. I mean, he gained a 10th there, but it's really not a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely, Tate has to make a gigantic mistake, or a caution could come out to really mess him up, as like you said, it's about 4 seconds the gap between Tate and Takis. Now 5 laps to go. The 35 is to the back bumper of the 97, so 97 hits the wall a little bit. He will get a launch off the corner, but that 35 machine, 4 laps to go. Will he have enough to get that 97?
It seems like that bump off the corner, that launch, has really helped Chris Bass pull away from Ritchie, but you're starting to see everyone's trying to not use the wall that much, but with how much your tires and car has just been damaged, it kind of is inevitable to happen.
Yeah, especially with that 97 machine. He's got 22 lap older tires than the rest of the field. I wouldn't, you know what, coming to 2 laps to go this time, the 35 really picking it up, driving it down into the corners. I don't think he's going to have enough to get the 97 though.
But coming around, giving himself the white flag, that's gonna be the 25 machine of Christopher Tate. He's been dominant from the start of the green. He got the pole, and now coming off of 2, he's feeling good, trying to get the win here, and once he gets around turn number 4, will get it done. It's gonna be Christopher Tate winning here at the Chris City 250.
Yeah, Takis comes home in the 2nd position, as we have a battle for 3rd. 35 underneath him, can't get the job done. As Chris Bass will come home in the final podium spot in the 3rd position. Christopher Ritchie in 4th, and Chris Noblet rounds out the top 5. And those are the last cars on the lead lap.
I mean, it's crazy that we even had 5 cars on the lead lap with how this thing started. Christopher Tate almost lapped every single car here in the first couple of laps. But right now, he is getting to burn down those tires. And what a great run for that 25 machine. It looked like he was having some struggles there in the middle of the race, car getting a little bit loose. But at the end, that thing finally got under him, and he was able to run some pretty quick laps.
Yeah, a great run for that Marines Chevrolet Camaro, as he absolutely dominated this race. I believe he led close to, if not over 200 laps today.
As you've seen him drifting around, hitting those water barrels and back to the front stretch. Might do a couple of more burnouts. He's just having some fun down there.
Yeah, I'd be a little careful, though. He hit those water barrels, might mess up inspection. And you know what? The way this car was dominating, they better take a good look on the post-race inspection, because honestly, he had something else that these other cars did not.
And we're going to take a quick look at the results. I mean, we were talking about these cars on the rundown. Top 5 cars all were able to stay on the lead lap, and then starting the run of cars that were at least more than 2 laps down. That's Christian Roos, Chris Meza, as well as Leach, Hubka, and Reese. These guys all had to make some pretty bold moves just to get to where they're at. But man, it's hard to get on the lead lap with how fast that 25 car was.
Absolutely. As you know what, from 6th on back, they were nowhere close to the speed that Tate had. Really, nobody was. As you saw, Chris Bass and Takis really had a chance, but a slim one at that. Christopher Lawrence finishes in 11th. Chris Newman will finish 12th, 12 laps down. It looks like Chris Cariview, I think that's how you say it, finishes 13th. Christopher Papa, first car that DNF'd, in 14th. Chris Jones in 15th. And rounding out the field with Chris Personette, he finished in 16th position.
Well, we're going to be bringing in third place, who had quite a run there at the end. That's going to be Chris Bass. Bringing him into the booth here in a hot second. Chris Bass, it's Sam and Tom up in the booth. That was a wild couple of laps for you, having that challenge from 35 machine.
Yeah, that got a little exciting there towards the end. I stayed out on old tires, thinking I could kind of get a lead on them, and maybe those 2 guys would battle, but stayed out on old tires, and Richie gave me a fit there the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, we saw how hard it was with those older tires. I know you had to do something different because you know the rest of the field was going to be doing different from what you did, but did you ever think about coming into the pits and getting fresh rubber?
Yeah, I did. I did. When I seen Tate come down pit road and I missed the commitment line, I pretty much knew then it was going to be a tough uphill battle with him and the 46 to take X. So yeah, I thought about it, but it just didn't work out that way. I thought wrong, and congrats to Tate and Take X on their good finishes tonight. Best guy won.
Tom, do you have any questions for Chris here?
Yeah, Chris, do you think you had anything for that 25 machine at all tonight?
Not really. That before the last restart, when I had the lead there and him and the 46 were battling, I thought for a split second then, if they get to battling, I think I have a big enough lead to be able to pull away and steal one. But as soon as the caution came out and they got fresh tires and I didn't, I pretty much made my bed and had to lay in it.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, we're now past the halfway marker during the regular season. Guys are trying to prepare themselves for the chase. I mean, how are you feeling about going into these next couple of races here coming to the end of the regular season?
Oh, I'm very excited. We got a bunch of good guys we race against. Have a bunch of good tracks coming up. A lot of fun tracks. Hometown track in North Wilkesboro, I believe is next. I'm not really sure, but I feel really good going into it. We got a good bunch of guys, and it's competitive, and we're having a lot of fun.
That's Chris Bass finishing in third. We'll now hand the mic over to you for any of the shout-outs.
Yeah, I'd like to thank V1 Rotate Simulation Technologies, my Uncle Jay for the rig that I have here. I want to give a special shout out to my dad, Jamie Bass, on Father's Day this weekend. Thankful for him and everything he's done for me. Red Eye Designs, of course, and friends and family for their support. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for putting on such a great broadcast. It really does wonders for the rest of these guys here.
That's Chris Bass finishing out third in that 97 machine. Congratulations on that third place finish.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I mean, that was a great run for the 97. We'll bring in a car that thought he possibly could have done better. We'll bring in Christopher Takis. Christopher Takis finishing second. But, man, it seemed like you possibly had something for that 25 machine, but it's that he was just too strong today.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple times there where I feel I could have made a pass, but I didn't want to risk it and spin out. So I wouldn't say I settled for second, but I just kind of accepted the fact that he was a lot quicker and just kind of rode my race trying to hold on to a second instead of trying to wreck us both for a first.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were racing extremely hard. I mean, bringing out that last caution, you guys were battling extremely hard. In that moment, what were you guys thinking? I know it's coming to the end of the race. Tensions are high. It's just hard racing at that point.
Yeah, on that the second last restart, I guess it was, he kind of had on the inside line on me, and I feel like he tried to just push high coming out and thinking I was going to maybe check up and let him have it, but I knew I had a little bit of a fender on him, so we got really tight coming out of that corner, and then I think it was like a lap or two later where he got into the back of me, and I mean, he apologized for it and everything. It was just a racing incident. We were cool with it. I'm just glad that I didn't get spun into the wall and have any kind of major damages.
Tom, you got any questions for Christopher?
Yeah, so real talk here, how were you feeling knowing you were in second place and you saw the leader in your rearview mirror on that first 80 to 90 lap run?
Yeah, so that long run there, I know I don't have the short run speed here that he does, but I really do feel that I was saving my tires a little better, and near the end of that long run, I noticed I ended up starting to have the same or quicker lap times than him. Like, he wasn't really gaining anything on me at that point, and I feel if it would have stayed green longer, I could have started pulling away. Now, it wouldn't have made a difference because he had such a big lead, but I feel I wouldn't have been losing as much as I was up to that point.
You feel
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you've done anything different to possibly win this race tonight?
Just capitalize on the times that I could have snuck in there when him and Bass were fighting for the lead there, and because I think it was like the third last run, we had like a 40 or 50 lap run. For some reason, I kept getting really loose in the middle of the run, and I didn't know why, so I lost a lot of ground there where I feel I could have been behind them, making up positions possibly, and just capitalizing on their mistakes.
Well, that's Christopher Takis getting second today, and now I'll hand the microphone over to you for any shout-outs you got.
So first off, I want to thank Chris Jones for throwing on this league. It's a lot of work, and he does work his butt off to make everything happen. I mean, couldn't be any more professional than it is. Boys back at the shop, Takis Motorsports, doing a hell of a job. Mom and Dad, Riding's Gas, Performance Mobile Marine, SeaTac Photo and Design, and then just everyone else in the league. Like, good job to Christopher Tate tonight. He definitely dominated this race. Bass gave me a good run there. I wasn't expecting to have as many cautions as we did near the end there, but I like that with having those cautions, we did get a few people back on the lead lap, so made the racing more interesting instead of just having 2 or 3 of us on the lead lap for the end there.
It was making it a whole much more fun for us to broadcast there at the end with all the drama that was coming down. That's Christopher Takis getting second tonight, just 1 away from the win, but overall a great day for the 46 machine. And now we're going to be bringing in the winner of today's race, the car that dominated it all. We've got Christopher Tate in the booth, and this 25 machine, I mean, what were your thoughts going when you were only 80 laps into this race and you were right on the back bumper of second place?
I was thinking that I don't even know what I was thinking. I was just driving my car as hard as I could, just trying to get as big of a gap as I could, and I would have passed him, but burn out my stuff too much.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher, overall great run.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Do you so saw on those couple restarts that you started getting loose in the second half of the run for the first couple laps? Was the track going away at all, or were you just starting to overdrive your car a little bit at the beginning?
I think I was just overdriving the car. I think I was just getting to the gas a little bit sooner, and I think the happy medium was just kind of easing into it and being wide open coming off the corner. But whenever I was getting behind, I was trying to get faster runs off the corners, and even there at the end, I was trying to pull away. So I was wide open in the middle of the corners trying to get a good run off, and I think transitioning onto the straightaways whenever it made my car break loose.
Now,
Yeah,
those-
Chris.
Oh, go ahead, Sam.
Oh, I mean, I was just going to ask Christopher, when you were lapping all those cars, there were a couple of moments where you had some lap machines that looked like they were starting to have issues. In those moments, are you just holding your breath and praying that you don't get into any of those machines if they're having issues?
Definitely. I had a ton of close calls, and I was trying to be patient, but at the same time, I was kind of urgent to get through them. So I'm proud of myself for not driving over my head there and making or causing myself an.
Now, those last couple restarts, you really didn't start from the lead like you were through the entire race. Anything different going through your head, trying to get past those guys as fast as possible, or just waiting for them to make a mistake?
I just noticed a few runs before the final one, or the last few actually. Whenever Bass, he started keeping up with me a lot more. So whenever I was starting behind them, especially with 45 to go, I knew the laps click off quick. So I was just doing everything I could to catch up to him and pass him cleanly. And I apologize to Takis for spinning in there. I just got impatient and misjudged the gap and got into him on accident.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You had the fastest car of the day, Christopher Tate did, and now we're going to hand the microphone off to you so you can give some shout outs.
I want to thank you guys for broadcasting this awesome league. I want to thank Chris Jones for putting it all on. Grip Motorsports for helping me out in the real world, and everyone that joins in these races to make them a good time.
That's Christopher Tate running in that 25 machine, and a fantastic, dominating day for that car. Congratulations, Christopher, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, guys. I'll see y'all next week.
Well, Tom, I mean, I know we had some technical issues, but overall, a great race there at the end, even though it seemed like it was all that 25 cars.
Yeah, definitely changed up towards the end of the race. As the beginning of the race looked like a one-car show, kind of turned into a three-car show for a little bit at the end of the race. Sam, honestly, I couldn't be more pleased with how this race turned out. It had a little bit of everything, dominating car at first, then guys really catching on. Some cautions here and there, bunching it up, getting it more exciting. But overall, great race to broadcast and great race to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say thanks, Tom, for coming in and helping us for today's race. I know you're not usually in here with us with the Chris Cup guys, and it's been a fun race to broadcast here. That 25 car really put on a show, and I know that's the next race for these guys isn't until, I believe, the 28th, the 27th, excuse me, and it's going to be a fun one to watch there, and I got to say, I'm excited for that race. North Wilkesboro is where that next race is going to be. But for us in FRN, we've got a couple of races coming up tomorrow. We've got the Rapid Fire Pizza guys at Chicagoland, going to be around 8:30 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then on Saturday, you've got the Soda guys going to be running at Chicagoland as well, 8:30 Eastern Time as well. But for Tom and I mean, Tom, any last words for today's race?
I mean, it's always a pleasure coming up here, stepping out of the car instead of racing to actually broadcast these races. Definitely tune in for these next two broadcasts. They should be a great one. I know I won't be here, but Sam and Seth always do a great job, and whoever else is broadcasting on the FRN team. Always a pleasure to be up here. But Sam, I got nothing.
I mean, overall, what a great day here for the Chris Cup guys. got to see Christopher Tate dominate, and then some drama at the end. Overall, a great run for Tom. I'm Sam. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you on the next broadcast.